What it do, Dream Team? It's your boy Neal back with another reaction video, guys. Here we are with why Germans are so misunderstood by Americans. What is it that we don't get? Why are we misunderstanding y'all, Germany? Before we jump into this, make sure you subscribe to the channel, ring notification bell, get a video a thumbs up so it gets suggested. Social media, Patreon, all up top. You don't subscribe to any of it, put all the links in the description. All you gotta do is hit the link, follow me, talk to me. Shoot, man, I talk back. If you guys got a favorite video suggestion, you can subscribe to Patreon or drop it in the comment section. What we got? I love how his background on his computer is the American flag. And then you got the German guy dressed in, I don't know how to say it, like Holderlation or something like that. I don't know how to say it.
Hey guys, and welcome back to our channel. I am Donnie, and along with my wife Aubrey, we are two Americans currently living in Germany and sharing all of our experiences living and traveling throughout Europe. Okay, so many of you know that we moved to Germany about 2.5 years ago, and I immediately started learning German. When I say I started learning German, I mean I really hit it hard. My classes were taught 100% in German from day one. I was at the school 4 hours a day, 5 days a week for 6 months.
4 hours a day, 5 days a week for 6 months. Yeah, he was serious about getting German now. That's 4 hours a day just learning German. He wasn't playing no games. He was not playing any games.
4 hours a day, 5 days a week for 6 months. At the end of the 6 months, I had to take a written, oral, and multiple choice exam to prove my German language knowledge, and I got this piece of paper that shows that I achieved a B1 level of German. However, even with this schooling, this piece of paper, and living in Germany for 2.5 years, I still don't understand Germans. Now let me clarify that because it makes it sound like I don't speak German, and I do. I often get asked by Germans if I speak German, and I normally respond with saying, ja, aber nicht ganz fließend. That's because whenever Germans are speaking to me, or if I'm watching TV, or if we're listening to radio, I understand about 80 to 90% of what's being said. However, if the subjects get a little more complicated, then I typically can't follow along. Like, for example, at Aubrey's pregnancy appointments, then I can't. Wait, have we not told you about that yet? Oh, by the way, look at how German I've become wearing house shoes in the house now.
I like those house shoes too. I do like those house shoes.
Look at how German I've become wearing house shoes in the house now. Aubrey, we haven't told them yet. So we're gonna get back to the topic in just 1 second, but first let's address this. A lot of you guys have been asking where Aubrey has been and why she hasn't been in the videos recently, and this is why. Because we found out we are pregnant.
Yeah, we'll be having a baby this summer, and thank you so much for everyone who's been concerned about me and asking about me, but we're doing more than okay. I'm just taking a step back from videos.
So we don't actually know exactly what role Aubrey will be playing in the videos going forward for this time being while she's taking care of herself, growing this baby, and then giving birth to this baby. But you guys can go ahead and leave all of your questions in the comments below about, will we be having the baby in Germany? When will we be changing our name to Passport 3? And all those other kind of silly questions. But so for now, that's our big excitement. We're having a baby. Okay, thank you, Auntie. Bye-bye. Okay.
Shout out Aubrey. Congratulations to those two. I think that's absolutely incredible. They're absolutely amazing people. And just so happy for them to have such a blessing in their life. All right, keep it going.
We're having a baby. Okay, thank you, Auntie. Bye-bye. Okay, so now with that, let's go get back onto the subject of today's video. About 70% of our audience are Germans, and only about 9% of our audience are from native English-speaking countries. So I'm assuming that a vast majority of you guys are watching this video and English is actually a second or third language to you. Because of that, I would really be interested in knowing if you have experienced the same things that I am experiencing with speaking German. So let me know your thoughts on these things in the comments below. So when I mentioned the times when I can understand most German that someone is speaking to me is when they are, well, speaking to me. But what has been the biggest challenge at understanding Germans for me is when you take away the nonverbal cues someone is using when they are talking that help me understand what they are saying and when things go digital. Besides our crazy aunts or uncles on Facebook, the rest of us hopefully know that we should be careful about what things we send via text, email, or other digital forms in which we are just writing. A sentence spoken in person could mean one thing when a person can read your body language, but once you remove those nonverbal cues, a sentence could be read in a completely unintended tone and be misinterpreted. For example,
That's completely right. Okay, I definitely understand where he's coming from on that. Definitely, when you say something to someone and it's face to face, this is based on your body language, on your gestures, on your tone, like you said, it could be interpreted completely differently as if you type it in a message, you write a letter, anything where you're not there, there's no verbal cues or anything. Completely different interpretation. Definitely understand where he's coming from on that, and that's even if like you're fluent in your language. You know what I'm saying? It's just different when it's tone and body gestures and stuff like that makes a difference.
Be read in a completely unintended tone and be misinterpreted. For example, this sentence. Without someone's body language or other context clues, this could be read as either "we are pregnant" or "we are pregnant." What I didn't expect was just how much more difficult this is when I am messaging in a foreign language. So I haven't really explained yet why I am making this video, and basically I have some people that I email or text over here only in German. However, there are some of these messages that I legitimately cannot read. Now again, I don't mean that I can't read it and understand the words. I can do that, but I cannot read, or maybe a better word is feel what they are actually saying when they are messaging me. And I've actually been left wondering if the person messaging me is angry at me, just expressing themselves passionately, or if they are actually indifferent, but I am just not understanding their emotions. Hey guys, real quick, I wanted to give a huge shout out to our patrons over on Patreon for supporting our channel. And if you would like to know ways that you could also support us in making these types of videos, I will leave a link in the description to our Patreon page that you can go check out. But honestly, other ways of supporting our channel that goes a long way is just by hitting that like and subscribe button and commenting your thoughts on this video. But with that being said, let's get back to the video. So say I am texting someone in English. There are certain linguistic cues that I put in a text to let the reader know that I am texting with a certain intention or emotion. Let's say that someone messaged me about their favorite movie they recommended and asked if I enjoyed it, but I didn't. I would probably start my response message with, well. In this case, I know by using the word well, I am cluing them into the fact that I didn't enjoy it, and they should be prepared for my answer. It is a way of
that does make sense. And then you got emojis, and you got emojis right for every language. So I think when you throw in emojis, that really helps the whoever's reading the message feel the tone of the message. If you're happy, you're upset, anything like that, emojis are helpful. But yeah, if he said well ... yeah, I know he didn't enjoy it.
cluing them into the fact that I didn't enjoy it, and they should be prepared for my answer. It is a way of easing them into the letdown and softening the blow, but also letting them know that I am not upset they recommended a bad movie to me. However, what I have learned with German is that I do not know how to do that. At this point in my language learning process, I have mostly just learned direct translations and how to form sentences, but I haven't had enough time to learn all the intricate ways of indicating tone of a message and feel the emotions behind it. So if a German uses one of these word indicators in a message to give me an emotional insight to the tone of the message, it just goes right over my head. To give you a better example of a German sentence that I can't feel, I found a website, yourdailygerman.com, where they talk about one of the most confusing ways that a single word doesn't actually literally mean anything, but is used to change the emotion of a sentence. They gave an example of two sentences that feel totally different to Germans when they are read, but to me, I don't feel anything or pick up on the difference. The basic information in both of these...
There's a word that doesn't mean anything, but it changes the tone of the sentence. That's very interesting.
I don't feel anything or pick up on the difference. The basic information in both of these sentences is the exact same. The gyms were closed, so I bought some weights. However, by adding the word ja in the second, the emotion of the sentence and the information changed ever so slightly. This ja says so much by altering the meaning of the first half of the sentence from simply the gyms are closed to more of a, as you probably know, the gyms are closed. In my German class, I remember that we had a sentence somewhat similar to this one in our textbook, and I stopped and asked our teacher, wait, why is that word ja just randomly thrown in there? Doesn't the sentence make total sense without it? Our teacher stopped and thought for a second as if it was just second nature to her, and it was somewhat self-evident, or she was surprised I hadn't picked up on it, but in that particular sentence, she explained the ja was just a way of making the information sound softer and more friendly than just simply stating the fact the sentence was trying to express. An example of something else that makes understanding German messages so difficult.
That's very interesting. How you have a word that can do that to the entire sentence. Shout out, Joe. I really like that. I really like that. And that's just, I don't know. It's just something that's intriguing to think about. We just sit here and ponder on it, I guess. Huh.
Trying to express. An example of something else that makes understanding German messages so difficult for me. When we learn a language, we have to start somewhere, so we often learn how to say a single phrase or translation to convey an idea for efficiency's sake, and we don't learn the depth of vocabulary to be able to more accurately describe what we are talking about. And since we are learning a brand new word, we often don't feel an emotional connection to the word that someone who has grown up with the word feels. An example would be the word soft. What does soft mean? Well, a cat's fur can be soft, but a mushroom could also be soft. But those are two different things and emotions to convey. Therefore, in English, we often would use different forms of the word soft to describe different soft things like mushy, squishy, doughy, comfy. However, there are certain emotions tied to these words in English that give rise to different feelings when they are said. In an article by The Guardian titled Bad Language, Why Being Bilingual Makes Swearing Easier, they wrote, many bilinguals report feeling less in their second language. It does not bear the same emotional weight as your native language. They later say the scientific term for this phenomenon is reduced emotional resonance of language. So let me ask you a question about an example of this. When you curse in your non-mother tongue, do you feel the same emotional impact of those curse words as if you were saying them in your native language? To be honest, I think a big part of the problem I am having with understanding
That's very y'all answer that for me in the comment section too. That's interesting. When you cuss in your second language, does it feel the same as cussing in your native tongue? Y'all talk to me in the comment section. Now he got me intrigued about
your native language. To be honest, I think a big part of the problem I am having with understanding written German and their tone that people may have in their messages to me is the lack of emotional connection that I have to the language right now. Not as in I don't love the German language, but the words literally mean nothing more to me than just a translation of English words. Therefore, a German may be sending me a message where they specifically chose the words they did to get an emotion across to me, but that message falls completely on deaf ears, and I only read a cold, literal translation of the word that they said. Besides just these few examples of my current struggles with German, there of course are a lot of other problems with messaging in a foreign language for me, like words German use to convey a lot of information that have no translation in English, like doch, social norms being different, like Germans simply being more direct than Americans, and often directness being falsely perceived as frustration or rudeness in our culture, or as sometimes phrases that directly translate one way, but they aren't meant to be directly translated translated and are meant to convey a different message than it actually is saying. I guess what I'm learning is that this is something that will probably just have to come with time, and that language is so much more than just a stale form of expressing ideas. It is more than just words that are just sounds to convey information. We actually have a lot of emotion tied to certain words and combinations of words that I innately know in English because I grew up in it, but with German, I have no connection to making me miss an entire wavelength of communication that is being used in the form of written language. The thoughts and struggles I am trying to convey in this video, I guess, are slightly abstract, and I know that I'm not great at expressing abstract thoughts like this, even in my own language. So I really want to know your take on this subject in the comments and what struggles you have had with foreign languages. To see who made it this far into the video, the random question of the week is coffee or tea? Which hot drink do you prefer? Thanks so much for watching this.
Neither. I don't want either of them. Either one.
Coffee or tea? Which hot drink do you prefer? Thanks so much for watching this video, guys. Be sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons, and we will see you in our next video. Living and traveling throughout Europe.
Shout out Passport 2. Absolutely love their videos. I think they're really cool. But that's all we got for this one. If you guys got a favorite video suggestion, you can subscribe to Patreon or drop it in the comment section. Subscribe to their channel. Ring notification bell. Give the video a thumbs up so it gets suggested. Social media, Patreon, all up top. You know, subscribe to any of it. Put all the links in the description. All you got to do is hit the link. Follow me. Talk to me. Love talking to you guys. You guys are the most incredible team on YouTube. It's your boy Neal. Out.